paper. I've got my American flag here, and I thought I would sing you one of the classic 4th of July carols. It goes like this. Have yourself a happy 4th of July. Make the nighttime skies bright. Keep those fireworks going till the middle of the night. Make sure your dogs aren't scared of them. Maybe keep the windows closed. What are you doing? I'm singing a 4th of July carol. There's no 4th of July carol. Yes, there is. I got my flag. I got my carol. I'm all ready. Wait a minute. Let me see that flag. What are you talking about? This is my flag. Where did you get that flag? I bought it at the store. What is attached to it? This is a realtor's information. Did you get that from the front lawn? I did. I got this flag from the front lawn. Toily. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a happy 4th of July weekend. And now I turn it over to the one and only Sid Croft. Take it away, Sid. From now on, our founding fathers will be dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, the unusual artistry of Sid Croft.
I'm back. Happy 4th of July weekend. Hey, Toily, I want you to really be careful on Tuesday night. Don't light fireworks because toilet paper can go up in flames. And oh my God, Toily, we love you so much. No fireworks. And everybody out there, I hope you're cooling off because it's pretty hot almost everywhere. And thank you so much for tuning in, because after 2 weeks, changing my shows and the format, because I told you last week I had a huge fall. And nothing's broken, so don't worry.
Just your ego.
It's just a day at a time. Have I lost my voice too? And like I said, nothing's broken, and I'm getting there. And by the way, I thank everybody out there for all your concerns and your beautiful messages. I'm getting through this. You can't knock me off with a baseball bat. Okay, and then we can party soon. No, it's coming. It's coming. I feel so much better today. Almost a year ago, we had a really, really interesting guy as the guest. And he's the star of a show, we've all been watching, the smash hit on FX. I think it's been on, more than 5 years, and it's called Minds. And ladies and gentlemen, I just can't wait to introduce Frankie Loyal. I'm so thrilled that he's back, and he's such a cool guy. Where are you, Frankie? I think you told Kelly that you were at
a motorcycle show today?
A motorcycle show.
Yeah. Let's see.
Frankie.
He said he was gonna. I see him on there. Let's see.
He's on?
Well, he's in here.
Maybe not getting a signal.
It could possibly be, but that's okay. Frankie's a good friend of our show. He actually was here.
He's incredible, because the last time I saw him, Kelly, was New Year's Eve.
Christmas Eve.
I don't know. What am I talking about? Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
It affected my brain. The fall. Oh boy, did it. No, it did not. But anyway, Christmas Eve, I have to tell you about Christmas Eve. As I grew up, Christmas Eve was the night that the whole family went out. We had an early dinner, and we went out and got our Christmas tree. That's what Christmas Eve was. And we came home, and the whole family made all the ornaments, handmade, and we lit the tree about midnight. And, you know, the kids went to bed. We woke up the next morning, and all the gifts were for us, the kids. But every year, Mom got a bottle of perfume, and I think Dad used to give us like 75 cents to go buy it. It was a gift from all of us. And then Mom would give us, oh, I don't know, not much money to go out and get my dad a beautiful tie. Because those were the days where everybody wore a tie and a suit wherever they went. And God, you could go to the Pantages, even to the premiere. People are in flip-flops and, you know, shorts. But you got to move with the times. So anyway, Frankie.
He's there. He's there. He's listening. We're working to get him on here.
Yeah.
So you just
okay. So I'll just keep going.
You know what you should talk about is you should discuss right now like the
fall.
No. Oh God, can we not?
The fall. It's always stupid. Okay, let me tell you, because I've been asked this. I mean, it was embarrassing. Every morning, I go out and feed the toy.
Oh, and there he is.
And there you are.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, technical. Well, we're used to it, Frankie.
I miss you.
Every single week, you know, there's something else. How many weeks ago, Kelly, did our show went off in 10 minutes, and the whole country went off.
Instagram died.
Yeah.
But of course, Sid's sitting here, and he's just like, so when are we going back on? Are you going to get back on? When are you going to get back on?
No, I blamed it on Kelly. Well, why not? What are you having? How cool. And where are you?
You know, I did the motorcycle run early this morning, and it got really hot, and I was sort of, I'm not going to miss Sid by, you know, motorcycle exhaust going off and the heat. I miss you. I haven't seen you since Christmas, so I got home as quick as I could.
You were so nice. You know, I didn't have a Christmas tree, and Kelly had this big plan where she called you and brought her whole family over and brought this incredible, oh my God, I kept it up until
after February.
I really did. It was so beautiful.
It was.
Especially at night. You know, it had thousands of lights, no ornaments on it, and it was just this jewel.
And all he talks about is how amazing it was that you came over and spent time with us.
It was the best Christmas I had, and I could not tell you how long. I felt like a little kid again. You know, it was the most magical Christmas because I got to spend with you and the family and Kelly and the family. And I came home and had Chinese food with Judd Nelson and another couple of crazy characters. And it was just this surreal.
Oh, you're the best.
It was the best. The best Christmas I had in years.
And guess what's behind me? The ladder to the treehouse.
That's right. I got to go in the treehouse finally.
Because you went up in the treehouse. That was so
place.
Cool. Hey,
anybody watching needs to know that the treehouse is real. It's magical. My birthday was 2 days before, so it was a birthday Christmas gift to go up in the tree and just, it's magical.
How cool. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much. Mayans.
Yes.
Wasn't it like the year 2018 when you came on just as a guest and it went through the roof? People loved you so much. And then 5 years later, it's still on, right?
Right. we got a few more episodes, and that's a wrap. We're going to go into into the abyss, but it's weird to think that how I came in and how I left were very different than what I probably expected, like most people on the show. It's a tough show. Subject matter is a little heavy.
Very dark, yeah.
It took a good month and a half to shake it off. I'm not going to lie. There was a couple of times where I was like, do I feel this way, or does he feel this way, or both? Or I had to recalibrate who I was and just take a break. The only thing I didn't change was obviously the motorcycle riding, and but I took a lot of time to go on the road and kind of clear my head, and got back from a weekender last weekend, and but I've been wanting to come up to see you and go hang out in the treehouse too, because I'm still trying to get down from all of it.
Thank you for coming back on. We were looking forward to that.
I miss you.
Well, thank you. Hey, Frankie, so what are your next plans?
I had some plans going on until the strike hit, which,
oh God,
we have the writers who are on strike, which needs to happen. And I think the actors, we need to follow suit and stand by, the guilds that keep these shows going. Because a lot of people tend to gear towards the actors. There's so many people behind what we do. The guys that set up the sets, build the sets, our teamsters, the writers that create these characters. There's so much behind the machine that we couldn't even breathe as characters if they weren't there. So when the strike happened, it put everything to a screeching halt, as it should. But I was already reading and auditioning for some upcoming stuff. But in a way, I think it was a blessing, because I had to kind of slow down. I was still going 3,000 miles an hour, as I have for the past few years. And I think the universe was saying to slow down.
Just to become that character, you've got to get into it with your entire body. And it's like, it's a tough, people don't realize, every time they do a new project, they have to spend so much time mentally to get into the character. And they don't even want to be disturbed. I called a friend of mine the other day that was on a set shooting, and she said, I can't even take a moment thinking about talking about something else. And it's amazing. And like you said earlier, people don't realize when you go see a big movie, and my God, the crawl, the credits is almost longer than the movie. There's thousands of people that it takes to put something like that on. And just a little TV show that Sid Marty Krofft did, I mean, come on, it's a little kiddie show. We used to get 56, 57, 58,000 an episode to do those things. We put it all up on the screen and more, but even that took 150 people. That's a lot of people for a children's show. And so it's just amazing. Raiders just opened yesterday.
The Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I heard.
No.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah. And so I had no idea. Puffin Stuff is in it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Why, did you go see it?
No, I was going to yesterday. I saw the billboard over on Sunset.
Yeah.
I was eating lunch, and I was like, oh, that's right. I mean, I'm starting to, there's life is happening. Yeah.
There is a world out there.
Yeah. I wrote down and manually paid my bills the other day, and I was so happy because I missed that. Because, everything was automated for so long working.
Yeah.
And rekindling relationships, seeing people I haven't been able to see for some time. I'm just trying to kind of get back into living,
I love when you came, we had a signing somewhere. I don't even remember where the hell it was. In Pasadena. And you came with a bunch of your buddies. And then we went down, we all left together.
Yeah.
And you hung out for the whole day, which was the coolest thing. Thank you so much. But then we went down in the parking lot and your bikes were all parked there. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I've never seen bikes like that because I tell you, your bike, wow,
Thanks.
it's incredible,
Thanks.
just incredible. And you know, when I was in Paris playing the Lido for a year, I had a really sissy bike, a Vespa,
I like
a Vespa.
Vespas. I like Lambrettas too. I do. I rode
It's
on
like
those.
you have.
Mhm.
I mean, and it's crazy because they're having riots there, and they were just showing all these people still riding in
Yeah.
Vespas, you know, because the traffic is insane there,
Right.
and and you just in order to get around, it's either a bicycle or a Vespa.
Or a Vespa. Yeah. Which makes total sense. And they're strict on the emissions laws over there, which is pretty smart. But yeah, I like Vespas. Some of the first bikes I also rode on after ATVs and motorbikes and the whole deal. So I'm a fan of them. I really am.
And what about regular bikes, right? Too, I'm sure
Yeah.
you're great on a BMX bike.
Yes. And I've got
Yeah,
a bigger version now, a cruiser bike, and I like to ride that early in the morning.
and
And it's a Mike Buff special, and Mike Buff got it for me as a gift, and so hopefully I'm going to get out and ride with him soon. And he was my BMX hero, like you were my childhood hero. So I'm
that's
very
so
blessed.
crazy. Frankie, where did you grow up? Where are you from?
Where didn't I grow up? I mean, I was born out. It's funny because IMDb says that I was born and raised in San Francisco, which I was never born in San Francisco, but I lived there for 25 plus years. Um, I was born out in Apple Valley, Barstow area.
Really?
I lived in
Wow.
Northern California. I've lived all over, the state. I kind of was a vagabond pretty much. And
Well,
then,
it's like me. You know, I mean, I started when I was 10,
yeah,
and I never really lived anywhere but a hotel
right,
room
right,
until I got my first house, and this is it.
right,
I'm still here after 52 years. My very first house. You know, when I was in Europe and traveling in Europe and go to all these big mansions, that was my dream. Like,
right.
but how could a little puppet act get something like this, you know,
Well,
a house?
because
And
that puppet act was larger than life. And that's what's the beauty of it,
it
you know?
was, it's insane. You know, we all have dreams and hopefully they come true. And some are later than sooner, you know. And God, what was I? I was already, I don't know, close to 50 years old when I got this is my first house.
This
Yeah.
beautiful house. So it's so magical. I
And
mean,
the
I'm going to
book,
be honest. I'll be honest. There's times that we were filming when things were really heavy,
yeah.
here and here. And Selena, also
Oh,
being on
I
the show,
love her.
I love her dearly. And there's times like we would just talk about you and this
Really.
this sort of innocent, childlike demeanor would come about us to where it blocked out that darkness that needed to go for a minute so we could calibrate the next move. So you were very much alive and well with this past season, which really was huge. I hope that's something that I don't take lightly. Knowing you and Kelly and like I
Thank
said,
you so.
Christmas. I'm very
We love
nostalgic.
you. We
Yeah.
love you
I
so
love
much.
you.
You're just the coolest guy.
Thanks.
You know, you're way up at the top of my list.
Well, good,
It's
because it's
crazy.
mutual. You
Yeah,
know,
thank you.
I plan on seeing you more now that the show's over. So, I'm a phone call away and I can get to places pretty quick, allegedly.
Yeah. And as
Allegedly.
soon as I'm still not close to being. What happened was I went out to feed my koi.
Hmm.
It was 2 weeks ago, Tuesday, and the guys come over to blow all the leaves and stuff. And in that garden, I have two metal chairs, and they moved them around to blow the leaves and didn't put them back. And so I walked through them, and I fed the koi. I turned around, and caught my foot in one of the metal chairs. If I would have gone into the pond, then that would have been it, because, whoa. But the two chairs attacked me, both of them. And it was like,
we put them in detention. It's fine.
Okay, 'cause me and the boys will be right there.
Yeah. Oh, shit. You always
Sid.
say that. Yeah.
Oh.
That was the moment I needed them. And then there was nobody here. My maid had the vacuum going. Yeah. And I kept calling her name until the vacuum was turned off, because there was no way I could get up. And I really screwed myself. Oh, my shoulder. I didn't break it.
Good.
I have an hairline fracture, in it. But wow, it really took my whole body, and everything changed.
Right.
And I was in the hospital too. I went to the hospital for 3 days. Yeah, 3 days, and I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. That was a nightmare,
I just found out. I found out yesterday. So
that I felt. Well,
otherwise, I would have definitely called you.
Well, hey, thank you so much. Okay, so anyway, I of course had Tina Turner on our shows many times. What an incredible woman, and what a huge loss.
Yeah.
Just as a person, but her talent was, oh my God, beyond. And I was thinking, it wasn't the first one, but Mad Max. She was, I think, in the second one, right?
She was in Beyond Thunderdome, right?
Yeah. And so I know it was shot in Melbourne, and in the late 70s. Yeah, because I think it was released in 77 or 78.
The first one, I believe, was that, and Thunderdome was a little bit more in the 80s, I believe, because Avery Anderson from Nose Tattoo was also in that.
But you know what's interesting? I asked Kelly what was the year, and she started telling me a little history about it. I mean, it was an amazing movie. And she said the budget was $400,000
for the original Mad Max.
Yeah, and it made over 100 and something million. We never saw anything like that. That was like Mel Gibson. Wow, it was just an amazing. Right. The reason I bring it up because of all the bikes. Yeah.
I've got one of those trips coming up soon, so I think that's the other reason I wasn't too crazy about being out for 20 hours on the heat, because we're going to be doing a big cross-country trip, about 20 of us. And
really? When is that?
We're trying to organize the dates, because, when you have 20 people trying to get the date straight, we don't know if it's going to be September or, October.
Well, October is hot, too.
Right, we're going through the Badlands, Wounded Knee, the Ozarks. We're hitting everything as a group, and some of the Lakota Nation, who we love very much, are setting up teepees and everything so we can roll in and sleep and have some lodging
on our way
through. And,
oh my God!
And it's really nice. So it's definitely going to be a bit rugged. And I like all that. So it.
And you're there with a lot of your friends. Yeah. So
yes, you met quite a few of them actually. They're going to be with me. Yeah. I'm going to use this word again. The coolest people. Well, yeah, I'm talking to one of them.
it takes somebody cool to know cool people, too.
I mean, you rule. I was so happy about today. I was more excited about that than getting on the motorcycle. So that's kind of huge.
Wow, thank you. That's a big
it's
compliment.
true. I mean, I think Selena and I talked about it. I talked about it to somebody in passing after Selena and I talked about it. And I said, if everybody wants to know the closest place to get to heaven in the City of Angels, go to Sid's Treehouse, because that's where you see it. And it's those visuals. Like, I don't care if I'm having the worst day of my life. I always try to stick in a positive mode, and I just revert to these little moments in my life because I think life is built up on moments. And that moment, being up in that treehouse, the way the sun was setting, it was Christmas Eve, and
you could see the whole. It's a 360,
beautiful.
View. Yeah. Why were you interested in our shows? What made you, such a tough guy?
I think,
Stuff.
the guys you met that I rode with, they were huge fans of you, so they were equally giddy and, like a bunch of crazy little boys. I think for some of us, it was healthy escapism. When you have surroundings that aren't always the best, maybe, and you see that there's this other world, this otherworldly world with these characters that are different, but they're your friends, and they're safe and they're protective, like Puff and stuff, anything, these characters were always protective, but also, you could learn lessons together or from each other. There was just these magical moments of escapism that were like, wow, I'd like to have a friend like that. I'd love to
really worried, like when we started, like Puff and stuff, because I thought, I don't want to put those kids down.
Right.
Kids are much more intelligent than we give them credit for. And I wanted, look what happened with Land of the Lost. That was an adult show, but the kids got it. They got those deep, deep stories.
So right.
I mean, they were so complicated, and they became even more complicated when we discovered that kids couldn't wait for the next episode, and and they knew all the characters and they felt for them.
Yeah.
Because it originally, Land of the Lost started, my initial idea was Swiss Family Robinson.
Right.
A family caught in a situation, that was really a place that they were not used to,
right.
And they had to readjust their whole lives. And the reason I originally had a mother, and then I thought, it's much more interesting. She came in their dreams, in a couple of shows, but much more interesting, for a father and his two kids to bond, because the mother, that would have been a hard situation,
right,
for a woman, yeah. And so, well, women can handle more than men, but yeah. But anyway, that was such an interesting show, and I couldn't come up with anything for 2 years, and Land of the Lost. I think I told last week. I told everybody that story because we were painting and sitting at the table where Land of the Lost was created. So I brought it up last week. But just to get back to what you said earlier about the shows, because in those days, and I'm a little sad that it didn't continue. Mom and dad sat with their kids on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But mom and dad are working,
Right.
and everybody has to work in order to get through this
right.
crazy world, And so, I wanted to make sure that it was written adult, because mom and dad would laugh at a joke even though the kid wouldn't understand it at that time, and that's the approach. But I thought it was, and I wanted to take kids on a really incredible adventure, a trip, or whatever you call it.
You did.
Like The Wizard of Oz, which was the first movie I ever saw, And, there was, in Lidsville, we had Mother Wheels. It was a great character,
Right.
And I've told this story, I think I have. I mean, we've been on 3 years. I don't know how many times I repeat something, but you're gonna just have to live with it.
We're good.
Because how many stories can you tell after 83 years in the business? Almost 84. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And the places I've been all over the world, and that's where all these crazy ideas came from. But Mother Wheels, it was this old granny riding on a motorcycle, you know, and she had the helmet. She was the helmet. That was the character. And so the network called me one night and said, you can't have that character because she has to wear a helmet if she's going to be on a bike. I said, the hell are you talking about? She is a helmet because Lidsville was all about hats.
Right.
So
That's crazy. So they brought that up because I had a similar issue this season about that. That's why it's weird to hear that you had that back then, that discussion. Wow.
No, practices and standards. Well, now you can use the four-letter word.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's just, it makes me crazy. Even shows that are for kids, there's some words in there.
Right.
Oh my God.
No,
I mean, but we got to move with the times. I can't knock it.
well, I guess
And that's
so.
what
I
I've
mean,
always done. And okay, the other thing, my dentist. If you make an appointment in the morning, he's always late, and he has this big hot bike, and he comes in with all that gear,
right.
his leather and all that stuff, and his helmet, and then 2 minutes later, he's in his white gown, looking in your mouth. It was, and he doesn't even have a car. He's always on a bike.
Good man. I'm with you. Yes.
Yeah, I knew
I
you'd
can
like
relate.
that. Yeah, I knew you'd like that.
Yeah.
Your bike is it is a Harley Davidson.
I've got a couple Harleys.
Yeah.
I love Harleys all the way.
Well, you met Harley, my bird, right?
Yes. Yes. And I saw the koi, and I had that awesome elixir smoothie you made us, which was really nice in that hot, cold weather we had that day. Yeah. I remember. It's like I said, it's moments.
Well, thank you. That was it was such a great surprise when you walked in. And then, I haven't because I fell, but I walk 2 miles every day. And this woman, I didn't even know her, came out of her house. She said, "Are you Sid Croft?" Someone told me. I said, "Yeah." And she said, there was this guy on a bike looking for you. I didn't know where the hell you lived. I couldn't send him. I knew you lived somewhere around here. And that was great because you got lost. It's easy to get lost.
I know I was just from the area. I was just like, I know this way, but this is a different way, and I had fun. I mean, it was like one of your shows. It was a crazy, windy, road of mystery. But,
I walk, on roads that don't have any traffic or anything like that, and it's so cool, because that's where I create. When I'm walking or running. I did all the shows running down at the beach. I ran 9 miles a day every time I ran. And I was like a train. I'd come in, I knew exactly, I had the same pace. Even the lifeguards would leave their stands and run with me a little ways. They didn't know who I was, but they saw me every day, And one lifeguard down. I run down at the beach, Santa Monica, Venice Beach, and so 9 miles there and back, beyond the pier, And so there used to be an amusement park there, a full one, but now it's a tiny one, on the pier. I used to love running every day. When everybody went to lunch,
Right.
I would leave and do my run, and and come back with another crazy idea. Are you a runner? Did you ever?
I actually run the Hollywood Hills, believe it or not.
Really?
I was
after the second mile, right, Frankie?
The joke is, I told somebody the other day, I said, 20 years ago, it was so easy. I felt like, Rocky Balboa. Now I feel like Rocky Road getting ready to melt on the asphalt, because I think I move faster than I probably do. But I was telling my friend, I don't even look at the destination. I just try to keep my eye on what's in front of me every foot, because
well, me too.
It's just so much. And then, when you get up there, you're like, okay, not bad for an old guy. I mean, I turned 53.
Yeah, but you're talking to the oldest guy on the planet.
With the youngest heart.
Living,
yeah.
Falling down, getting back up. I don't know how the hell I do it. I'm so grateful to wake up every day. I had the worst night 2 nights ago. Last night was good because my doctor came over and gave me something that wasn't toxic, or I don't take pills. I don't like that.
I'm with you on that one, totally. Yeah.
Because that can really screw you up.
No,
you were also a lead singer. I mean,
yeah.
Do you ever go and do punk rock karaoke?
No, my friends actually do that band, though. Actually, my bassist, Eddie Tatter, who also plays in a band called D.I., is a bassist for punk rock karaoke. And then Greg Hedson, who is in the Circle Jerks and Bad Religion, he also played on our one of our records. And he was, one of our band members.
It's so funny. The other day I was thinking about punk rock, and I was like, I don't even know anybody I would take with me that would enjoy it. And then when I was talking, I was like, oh, Frankie would enjoy this.
I've gone up and sang with them a couple times. I mean, I know the guys, and our band actually did shows with them also. And, but it's kind of cool about the band stuff, because this last episode of Mayans, they actually played one of our songs. Wow. And I heard they're going to play one next episode, and we had 2 songs last season. So I had to take time off from that because of Mayans. It was like, I'm in 100%, so I'm not going to have any side things going on. So the band was understanding and went on ice, but it was nice to, we went in the studio and did 2 songs specifically for this season, and that was fun to get in and do. You know what I mean? It was, and to hear it and see it on the show, it was epic.
What instrument do you play?
I play drums and I sing when we're playing live.
So you're the lead singer.
The drummer, so they usually put the drums up to the front. And but on this record, I played a little bit of everything. We did the keyboards and did a lot of the additional voices and some other instruments we threw in. But we had my buddy Mike Oxley from a band called the Fat Skins, which had been around for a minute, and we did a lot of shows together. And he came out and sang part of the song with me, which was much needed. And then there's a band called the Distillers. My friend Tony came out and played guitar on that also, and it was great because he brought something extra to it. Our other guitar players in Canada, and he works in the industry over there, so he had his hands tied at that moment. But yeah, I mean, I play piano. I play quite a few instruments, believe it or not. I like music. I like all kinds of music. So.
My God, what a great career, Frankie. When this craziness is over, the writer's strike, I hear the actors are going in next.
Yes.
But that's good. That's good.
We need to. Yes.
Well, no. This is the smartest thing the writers did, because, come on, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's totally insane that they don't get the credit that they really deserve. And
I agree, and
the studios are finding that out. Yeah,
we had some of the best writers on our show, and I stand on that. And we also, it's very rare you get to know the writers. We didn't talk to them because we're trying to influence our characters on them, or they were just around. We had a show that I said good morning to 200 people and good night to 200 people every night, and I liked about 199 of them. That's how special that show was. And our writers, were equally important. Some of them were new. My boss gave them a chance to, kind of get their feet wet to elevate. He always lifted people up. That's one thing about my boss that I love, you know. And the writers we had, I mean, they humanized our characters because we were not exactly out being saints. You know what I mean? And to think just that show alone, minus the other shows, you know, like I said, I was lucky to do a show called Better Things where you had Pamela Adlon, who's just legendary. And she, you know, she's a great writer, her team, and you just see these great shows and it's like, look, there's so much sacrifice, you know, when you have to create from here, put it on
You were
paper.
nominated, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were nominated.
We weren't yet that I know of, but a couple guys on our show got a couple awards that were well deserved, like Clayton Cardenas.
Weren't you nominated for a movie that you did?
Oh, was I?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't remember. I don't think so.
Oh, really?
I might have been on the bike, Sid. I might have been on the bike. I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, I saw Thriller or Deep End or Die Like a
that
Man.
movie was definitely nominated. I had a small part in that with Tilda Swinton, and she's amazing. Wow.
Because I read it somewhere.
Yeah,
you got to believe everything you read.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I was just a very small part in that, but I was glad to be part of it because it, you know, the directors were cool. Tilda Swinton was one of those, you know, colleague actors, peer types that they teach you how to do it the right way. You know, they're humble, they work hard, they put out good work, and it's almost like you learn from that. You learn from the best of how to you know, how to bring it to the set, how to behave, your protocols, and I don't know. I credit a lot of those little moments to people like Tilda Swinton, Paul Sorvino.
Wow.
Like I've been very lucky to the people I've got to learn from in moments of work or life.
Well, there's a lot of projects waiting for you, you know.
Hope so.
It's got to be.
Hope
yeah.
So. I'm ready to work. I like working. Keeps me out of trouble. Allegedly. I'm kidding.
Yeah. What kind of trouble are you talking about?
Honestly, sometimes I just seriously,
yeah.
You know, trouble for me now is eating too many M&Ms or drinking too much coffee and getting on the bike. I'm not really as exciting as, you know, I like to think I am sometimes, but sometimes I laugh when me and the guys are out riding and we're doing our things, and sometimes we get looks and it's just like, you know, we're just getting ready to order ice cream and cake right now. Like we're not as rambunctious as you think, you know.
With sprinkles?
With sprinkles. I mean, the whole deal. I mean, I think the thing about riding for me is it keeps me young. Yeah, it can be dangerous at times. Yeah, it's a little intense, but it just grounds me. And that's where I get to hang on to my youth, you know, and fearlessness. And I think that keeps us young. You have to stay young at heart, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, I love when people say to me, you never change. Am I supposed to?
Right.
I have a mirror, talk about change, you know, and especially after you take a fall like I did. Boy, oh boy, what? It's just like, wow, it changes your whole life, you know, for whatever weeks it takes to mend. I do mend quickly, you know, but that was a killer. I mean,
I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad Kelly, you know, is there, and you know.
No, everybody. How many times have I said this, Kelly? Everybody should have a Kelly.
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody.
You know.
I mean, Kelly. Whoa! I don't know. I probably still wouldn't be here, you know, without Kelly, because Kelly takes good care of me.
I wouldn't be here without you either.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here either with you.
Let's not get mushy.
We're gonna get so sentimental and mushy right now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, don't make a big guy cry.
No.
Oh, that's my favorite thing to do.
That's right. You told me.
Yeah, Kelly cries easily. She really does. She gets emotional about it.
I do get emotional.
Yeah.
I do too. I'm not going to lie. I think I can get a little emotional at times. I don't know.
Well, you know what? When Frankie comes here and he gets up on the treehouse, I'm sure he'll cry.
I probably will. That place is so magical. See, I mean, look, I'm just like,
well,
I can remember.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I got to go in the tree. I mean, that's a rite of passage.
You should. Yeah. When are you coming over?
Whenever Sid's up to it, whenever you're around,
no,
I'm
you
around.
could just give me a little more
You do
time.
Your thing,
it's always an excuse.
He'll give you an excuse, but if you just showed up, he'd hug you too.
You know that, but I get it. I'm the same way. Like when I'm ready, I'm ready. I mean, I'm really lucky that the people that I have in my life, when Mayans ended, I had to say I'm trying to recalibrate me. And even my doctor's like, what's going on with you? Like, you're out of whack. You used to be like, this fit, not fit, but like everything was in order, and now everything's all over the place. I'm like, I think I'm just readjusting to everything.
Well, that's a big shock.
And I didn't realize it at the time.
Really, of course, spending over 5 years, doing a project, wow, and then all of a sudden you're told, this is the last season.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, it's great. It's your subconscious that said it's not great.
And
if you say, oh my God, that's such a heavy character to play. Now I can let the air out.
But I think that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, It was definitely, you go through heartbreak, but it was like a heartbreak times 200. And I think that was the overwhelming part. And as much as I knew this guy had to go, like I had to let him go, it was hard to, now that I look back on it. But at the same time, I've got some of the best people in my corner now. Some of the people I've worked with are my family now. I didn't know that going in. And some of the things that have happened because of this show have been amazing. I'm just blown away by it. Because I tell people, and they don't, they kind of have a hard time comprehending it. Like I went to this motorcycle run last week, and people are like, oh, we love the show. And I'm like, that really means a lot. Thank you. Like, really? I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I'm so immersed in what it's doing in front of me, what's in front of me. And then it goes to the next episode and the next and the next. I forget that it goes out into the universe, and people rush home to watch us on TV, or they make a night to watch us on TV. And that's humbling. You're like, wow. I mean, you forget, because I forget that we're out there sometimes. So, it means a lot. But also at the same time, I really went under a rock for about a month and a half. I mean, like you, I injured my ankle. I twisted it pretty good. I couldn't walk for a couple of days, and I didn't want to go to the doctors again and get more bad news. So I snapped it back into place. Oh. I don't know how I did it, and I was fine. I don't know what I did, but I did. Yeah. I was like, I need to, I'm great. I'm out running again. I wish I'd done it 2 days before when it happened.
See, it's so hard to break away from a character or something you really love doing, even though it's dark, and you can't wait to go to work. But I got to tell you something, Frankie. You're going to look back, because the next thing you're going to be doing is another incredible character,
Right.
And you look back, and all the knowledge you got from being on Mayans. I mean, wow, what an experience. Sometimes we don't know, well, all of us, we don't know where our path is taking us. That's what's exciting, And if you just stay focused, everybody, that's what I always did. You can get your dream will come true, Hey, Frankie, do you know we've been on? Wow, it's incredible.
It's been great.
Almost an hour.
I'm glad I was able to get on and figure it out.
Come on. I thank you so much.
I love you, Sid. I love you.
Oh, God, love you too, man. And good luck. And
thank you.
And we're going to see each other
soon. It's Christmas in July, so we have to see you in July.
I want that great smoothie that you made. Whatever that was, I liked it. Yeah, I loved it.
The apple juice and ginger.
Oh, the ginger. Oh, that's what I make for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to see you, give you a hug, hang out. I miss you, and you know where to find me. I'm a phone call away. I'm not far.
You're the best. You always,
when you're up to it.
And you always check up on me. That really means a lot to me, and I thank you so much.
Well, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, and everybody next week, we're back on our format, and we're going to have Who are we having next week?
Oh God, my brain. You're
Oh,
having me. You're having me
What
think.
about my brain?
And don't ask me to be
And you
your
know,
brain.
Peter Van Dies is coming on, and
Cool.
wow, and
Rick Thorne is coming on next week.
He's a friend of mine. I love Rick.
Is
Right
he?
on.
He is so great.
I love Rick.
And then Dita on the 16th, and then Darren Johnson on the 23rd, and then Sid's birthday is the 30th.
Okay. Yeah, but every day is my birthday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every day for me is Christmas with you.
Every day. Hey, out there, celebrate every day. Really. And, you know, forget waiting for a gift. You should get, it's a gift just to be here every single day. You know, that is the biggest gift of all. And I thank everybody for tuning in.
And thank you,
Frankie.
You guys. I'll
see
you. Loyal.
We will see you soon.
I love your name too. It's
thank you.
Incredible.
All right, I'll see you soon.
I keep seeing it up in lights.
All right. I love you. I'll be in touch.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
To be continued. See you next week. Thank you.
Bye.